All right, see how this goes. Welcome again. Travis Lofka here with the Human Upgrade Project, where I dissect, deconstruct, and optimize what peak performers are doing to be amazing and remarkable and extraordinary. Because I've always, number one question in my entire life has always been, what makes some people so extraordinary and able to perform at such high levels more often than not? So with that said, I will probably say that again here in just a minute because I'm dialing that in, and this whole process of the lives. As always, we're going to start tonight with Random Squared, bizarre odd national holidays here in the United States. Tomorrow, June 10th, bizarre national holidays are National Ballpoint Pen Day. Ballpoint Pen Day. Yes, National Ballpoint Pen Day. I didn't look that up because, I don't know, ballpoint pens are pretty awesome, but I don't think they're that awesome to look up stuff. Anyways, the other one is, and this one is exciting for me because I'm a super nerd, National Yo-Yo Day. I am going to have to find my fancy yo-yo, break that thing out, maybe play around with it a little bit, because why not? Yo-yos are really fun. I used to be able to do some really cool things with one. You know, all the tricks and the walk the dog and the flying trapeze and the swinging trapeze flying, and then the around the world to the flying trap. I don't remember all the names, but oh, the Eiffel Tower, that was a cool one. Anyways, hey Yuri, how you doing? So, with that said, I'm going to actually spit my gum out here because I just chomp on it a lot now. Still going on, let's see, May 17th was when I quit chewing. Still not. I still have more good days now than bad days. But yeah, I still have a hankering sometimes. A little bit of brain fog sometimes and things like that. Oh, and I'll get into this here in a minute, but another reason that you need to plan for the unplanned is because I got a cold a couple days ago and I actually feel like crap. But I'm putting on my happy face right now for this so that I can get through it. I don't know if you can tell I'm a little congested. I'll get into that also with something new that I discovered that's really amazing. That's good, Jerry. Challenging days. They're the ones that make us who we are, and how we respond to those. I have some of those too. I actually had one of those over the weekend. I had just some weird stuff going on with somebody I know, and yeah, just sometimes weird things happen. Anyways, let's jump right in here. We're right at or about our 3-minute mark, 3.5-minute mark. Again, welcome, Travis Lofka with the Human Upgrade Project, where I dissect, deconstruct, and optimize and learn what makes people remarkable and what makes people extraordinary and what lets some people excel and perform at peak levels more often than not. And how can we do the same thing? In tonight's episode number 18, Nudism, Buteyko breathing technique, and my 21 plus 7, my new little test that I'm doing, starts tomorrow. So if you have something that you want to do, you can kind of follow along with me. And like I said, at some point here in a month, I will be putting some stuff together where I will invite some of you to come be part of a beta program that I'm doing. I'll get into more of that as we go, but you'll be able to learn more about that 21/7 and all that good stuff. So, the nudism. I'm not becoming a full-on nudist, but in all of my research into sleep optimization and improving the quality of the aforementioned sleep, I ran across some stuff that talked about sleeping naked. So I thought to myself, why don't we try that? I don't actually like it, but I thought I would try it anyways. A couple benefits apparently. Helps with thermal regulation in your body and keeping everything, at a lower temperature, and, not having any clothes on. So there's that. And apparently for dudes, it's good for like sperm and genitals and all that good stuff. And if you have somebody else, if you have a girlfriend or whatever, apparently it's good for that too. So I'm testing that out. It's a little, like I said, it's a little awkward, a little weird. But over the years, I've tried a lot of things. That's one thing I have not tried. So I figured, why not try it out? And the awkward part for me is, one, I'm sleeping on my back now also. I've done that in the past as a test, but now I'm doing that at an angle and naked. And the reason it's a little uncomfortable is because it puts you in a position that's not advantageous back in the day when we used to be like living in caves and stuff, because you're vulnerable. However, I like knives and things and stuff like that, so there's no shortage of that within reaching distance if needed. So don't sneak up on me while I'm sleeping naked. That's the moral of that story. So, next, also along the lines of sleeping and improving sleep. This is not why I originally looked this up, but it is. I'll explain how it benefits sleep here in just a minute. The Buteyko breathing technique. So some of you may or may not know that a few years ago I got into Wim Hof breathing, and I've created my own versions of it that work well in different varieties and for different things, for different training and everything else, and when you're in a time crunch and all of that. So I was doing some more research on, I have another program that I'm going to be doing on breathing techniques. And I'm not sure, I don't remember what, I was just doing research on breathing techniques, and this Buteyko breathing technique is a guy from the Ukraine, I believe, but they say Russian, it's a Russian technique. Ironically, the funny thing is, a few years ago, at the same time I was learning the Wim Hof method, my buddy Yuri mentioned what I'm assuming is this. He was telling me about this technique that's so it's not even really similar to Wim Hof, but he was telling me about this, and I'm assuming this is what it is. I haven't verified that yet or not. Basically, what this is, the theory behind it is that we actually breathe too much, and that when you are stressed and anxious and all of that, your breathing rate increases. And then people tell you to take a deep breath when you are stressed out. But when you're stressed out, if you're paying attention, a lot of times what happens is you're actually breathing more. So by taking another deep breath, you're just breathing more. So these guys are saying, breathe slowly, very, very, very slowly, to the point where you feel like you're not getting enough air in and out. And at some point I may go into this, or I may go into this in the community or in the group or whatever, but it's really, really fascinating, because everything else I've ever read always talked about breathing deeply and all of this. This also, just taking a step back, this also is all breathing through the nose. So, and you can do it anywhere. That's what I liked about it. You can do it while you're working, you can do it while you're walking, you can do it. One of the biggest things you can do, as a little quick takeaway from this, breathe through your nose more often, in and out. Where this gets into the sleep aspect of it is, I did this technique before going to sleep, just a super slow in and out, and it relaxes you like crazy. It's amazing. You want to get to the point where when you're breathing in and out of your nose, like, you can barely feel it. Like if somebody was watching you, they wouldn't even know that you were breathing. That light, that slow in and that slow out. Yeah, weightlifter Yuri. Sorry, I just realized Yuri's on here, and I have another buddy named Yuri. So the one I just mentioned is actually from Moldova, Russian buddy. So I have to, I guess, clarify that. Thank you for saying that. So I'll get more into the Buteyko breathing technique in the future, but it's just something that I found fascinating as far as it was something that I noticed worked really well. And it was not easy to find information on. There's a really good book out there. I'll put a link in the description or down below in the comments. There's a really good book out there called The Oxygen. Oh boy, I didn't write it down. So it's the Oxygen Method. The Oxygen, again, wow. I have it in some other notes, but it goes through all of this method and the importance of oxygen and the difference and the balance between CO2, carbon dioxide, and oxygen in your system, and why having too much of one or the other is not good for you, and the Bohr effect, B-O-H-R, and how that works, and the effects it has on your body, not just for sleep. This was not just set up for sleep. It was set up originally by this Russian scientist to study the effects on asthma and other illnesses, other maladies. And it apparently, I think they said it cured a lot of things. I don't know. There's stuff that'll cure everything, right? There's something works for everyone. You just have to figure out what it is. And that's the point of all of this, is figuring out how to determine what is going to work best for you. And so you can operate at a level that is at your peak. So you can be in that mode more often than not. So that's a Buteyko breathing technique. Didn't explain a whole lot of it, obviously, but I will in future episodes, because like I said, it did. I just learned about it yesterday. I just learned the specific details about it yesterday. I learned about it, I guess, years ago when my Russian buddy here told me about it. And then tomorrow, as I mentioned in the last couple episodes, I'm starting my new 21-7 protocol schedule for some things that I want to do over the next 21 days. I tested it out today, because testing things out is always good to do, so you can kind of get an idea of what problems you may run into. One of the biggest problems I ran into is the fact that I got a cold and I didn't want to do any of it this morning, and it took me longer than I anticipated because I wasn't feeling well. So that was one thing. And then I realized that, per my normal overdoing it, going a little overboard, I have a lot of things on there. So one thing that I didn't mention in previous episodes is I will have a lot of things that I do, and then what happens is something like today, where I realize, okay, this is possible, but I probably should dial it back just a little bit. What's the number one thing that I will not miss at all for the next 21 days? And then the top three, but then there's always one, sometimes two, that are non-negotiable, will happen no matter what, whether I have to rearrange my schedule or whatever, because that's the whole purpose of doing the 21+7 day framework protocol. And that is, for this 21 days, it's going to be stretching. Why? Because I created the stretching routine a long time ago that I know works really well, but I've never actually I've never actually done it consecutively and measured my progress while doing it. What got me thinking about that is another program that I looked into that was talking about this getting super, super flexible in a short amount of time and all of this. So I was like, oh, I wonder how flexible I can get. In addition to that, the best part is I need to get more flexible for ballet, but I also need to maintain my stability and strength for powerlifting. So this will be interesting. I'm not dancing this month. I do have 3 Saturdays coming up in a couple weeks that I'm going to be going down to Denver and doing some classes down there to help out with some partnering, some pas-de-deux stuff. But other than that, I don't have my normal classes until July 8th or 9th. Classes start back up on July 8th. So number one thing is stretching. Nice thing about that is I'm limiting myself to about 15 minutes. And it's not a hard cutoff, but I'm trying to keep it around 15 minutes because I want to see, based on this other thing, it's like 15 minutes a day, blah, blah, blah. So I want to see, okay, what can I do with the techniques that I've created in 15 minutes a day? Number two is the Buteyko breathing technique that I just kind of explained that probably just confused you more than anything. And the nice thing about that, though, is it's different, since it's so much different than like the Wim Hof method and other breathing techniques that I've done in the past. You can do it anywhere. You can literally do it anywhere, anytime. You can do it while you're walking, you can do it while you're driving, you can do it while you're working. I actually do it while I'm working now. And it's not unsafe to do during any activity. I mean, I wouldn't do it underwater, but obviously you don't want to do any unless you have somebody there to save you when you pass out. So that's the best part about it. And I've noticed with having this cold, I sound more congested than I am, but every once in a while I'll start getting a little bit congested. And by doing this breathing technique, just while I'm working, it clears it right up. It's amazing. It's really amazing. The other thing I'm going to do, this is bordering on the hippie side, but it's not really because it's China, is it Chinese? Qigong Shaking is what it's called. Basically what that is it's just bouncing up and down while you're breathing to basically just like rid your body of like bad energy and all this other stuff, right? Because the big thing in Asian Oriental customs is Qi, and or if you're like in the Indian culture, it's prana. So it's cleaning. It's kind of like just shedding all that and cleaning that up. Plus, it wakes you up. So the reason why I'm doing that is because it's supposed to give you more energy, help produce a little more energy in your body. I'm doing that in the morning, and it only takes 3 minutes. I mean, I could do it longer, but I'm giving myself 3 minutes to do it, and that's part of my morning routine that I'm doing. I may do a video on it once I get it down a little bit better with the breathing and all of that, so you can kind of see what it is. I found a few videos. I couldn't find some of these things. You just can't find really good videos. It's like somebody standing in their living room with a really crappy camera or something like that, usually a lot of times. So I'm going to dial that in, just see how that works. Part of the reason I'm doing that too is because I'm wondering how it will affect my calf and my knee a little bit on just basically my right leg, and keeping that going, because I can do that throughout the day. Whenever I want to take a break, I can just stand up at my desk and jump up and down a little bit. It's supposed to be good for your lymphatic system and all of that also. So, yeah, tonight's not super spectacular. Wow, it's almost 20 minutes already. Just quick update on, sleeping naked. It's supposed to help you sleep better. Jury's still out on that. Buteyko breathing method, that one did help me fall asleep faster, and that seemed to work pretty well. I'm going to keep testing that out, and I'll keep you updated on that also. And then my new schedule tomorrow, as far as the stretching, breathing, and shaking, Qigong Shaking. The other thing that I'm going to be doing, which I'm not... I'm going to do episodes. I'm going to do at least some sort of video every day. It may not be here on this page, because in the group, I'm going to be posting, and there's a link in the description of this video right now to the group. I can't post files and things out here. I can, but there's not a place to post them like there are in groups. So in the group, I'm going to be posting things like my diet, my nutrition, my supplements, and all of that I'm going to be following during this 21-day period, so that if you're interested, you can see all of that information also. My pre-workout ingredients, post-workout ingredients, daily food, the whole bit. I just cooked up a whole bunch of crap tonight, so I don't have to cook for the rest of the week. And the schedule of when I eat, the whole bit. I mean, people ask me about that crap all the time, and I'm not going to tell you what my macros are because I have no clue and I don't care. But I will tell you what I have, so that you will, so you can do it if you want. And the stuff I made today was actually not too bad. I added a lot of garlic and bacon, so I think that helped. And let's see here. That's about it. Yeah, tonight, like I said, I'm not feeling so hot, so I'm a little off right now, but that happens, and I'm glad it happened now, because it's, like I said, it's building that WTF muscle. And what are you going to do when something goes wrong during the process of when you're trying to do something new? Are you going to let it throw you off, or are you going to step to the side, step over it, step around it, whatever, and figure out how to continue doing the thing that you wanted to do? Because if some small thing comes up, small thing, notice I said that. I know there's life events and whatever else, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, oh, I got a cold. That sucks. What can I continue still doing to achieve what I want to achieve? Because if it's important enough, you find time to do it. So with that said, I am going to call tonight done, and I'll keep you updated tomorrow on, I'm going to be setting a time. That's the other big goal for the next 21 days. Actually, for this week, I need to figure this out, is to set a specific time to do these episodes. That would be probably good, right? Because then you would know when to tune in every day, or whenever I decide to do these, which will be every day. But over the next 21 days, it won't be too big of a deal, because I don't have ballet during the week nights like normal. And that's where it usually gets a little tricky. So, with that said, I will figure that out. I will get my list of things, the stuff that I cooked up, my big crock pot creation that I made that's actually pretty delicious. That, all the ingredients in that, if you want to figure out the macros for it, you can. I'm not going to. Breakfast, what I do for breakfast on training days, non-training days. This is all how I optimize myself to attempt to perform at peak levels more often than not, based on all the information that I have and that I'm continuing to accumulate. So, with that said, let me see if there's anything else in my list here. No. So I would say this is short and sweet, but it's not short and sweet. What's up, Vana? You came on at the end. Well, we'll have to go back. Tonight was more just a run through of all the stuff that I've been doing since yesterday. And then my schedule starting tomorrow. Not a complete breakdown of the schedule, because it's like, I'll see if I have it all written down. This is basically what happens. I wake up in the morning, I actually don't have the water right away. I wake up in the morning, I do my inversion table, hang from that for just a little bit. Then I do 21 sit-ups hanging upside down on that. Then I get off of that and I get on my mini trampoline and I juggle and jump on my mini trampoline for about 3 minutes, but I may cut that down in time. I usually set a timer for that. Then after that, I usually do my big giant glass of water with a little bit of apple cider vinegar. But now what I'm doing is the Qigong Shaking. Then I do my water. Then I'll do some Wim Hof breathing. Then I'll do, depending on what day it is, I'll have a cup of coffee or not. I have that all listed out in my daily routine thing that I'll be posting in the group. And then I go to the river. That only takes a total of 30 minutes about. down and back. Go sit in that for 7 minutes. Now what I'm doing though, before I go to the rivers, I jump on my big trampoline. I have a big trampoline too. Working on my body awareness for that. If I have time, I'm going to do my unicycle in the morning also. I'm doing all this before 8 a.m. because I want to start business by 8 a.m. And I believe that's all of that. So that's a normal morning. Actually, a normal morning has a few of those things out, but yeah. I get up and I just go. Sometimes I'm not happy about it, but I do it. So, with that said, I am going to package up all my food for the week and then maybe go to sleep because I need some sleep. So that this is all better because I'm starting a new training program this week too from my coach for powerlifting, along with everything else. But it's only 21 days, so it won't be a problem. And with that said, if you like this episode, feel free to share it. If you didn't like this episode, just share the page and tell people to come like that, and then they'll find an episode eventually that they like. If you like YouTube better, go out there. Or if you're on YouTube right now, hit the little subscribe button, because that's always fun. And with that said, I will keep you guys posted on how everything's going, and I will talk to you soon. As always, have an amazing day, because it's better than the alternative.